I've been quiet for a minute because I've been collecting as much information as possible over the past month just so I can be accurate. And it's finally time to unleash the facts.
No one ever dogged
Yes, sir.
Oscar De La Hoya the way Floyd did. Every single press conference, he treated him like he was a...
Whether he can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed.
Oscar De La Hoya went off on Floyd Mayweather during a live interview with Stephen A. Smith, calling him a scammer and a fraud. De La Hoya slammed Mayweather for turning boxing into a popularity contest rather than a test of true skill and heart. He criticized Floyd's constant bragging about money and his lavish lifestyle, urging him to take the sport seriously instead of using it as a cash grab. De La Hoya emphasized that boxing is about legacy, not bank accounts, and warned that Mayweather's obsession with fame and fortune is damaging the sport's integrity and misleading young fighters.
You say you want to be a world champion. You say you want to take this sport serious. Then take it serious. What is this? This is not a popularity contest.
Oscar De La Hoya described Floyd Mayweather as a master at playing the role of the villain in their rivalry. He acknowledged Floyd's ability to manipulate public perception by embracing the bad guy persona. Oscar, on the other hand, was positioned as the good guy, having to promote the fight with double duty, trying to maintain his image while Floyd thrived in the negative spotlight. Oscar pointed out that Floyd was smart in using this approach, but it also highlighted a level of immaturity as Floyd leaned heavily on trash-talking and disrespect rather than focusing purely on skill and integrity.
It's like that rivalry, the villain and the good guy, you know? And Floyd, this is where Floyd is smart. He knows how to play that villain guy, you know?
And you're promoting the fight.
Yeah, and I'm promoting the fight.
Yeah.
And I'm promoting the fight.
Oscar De La Hoya recalled that their fight generated a record-setting amount of money, with the pay-per-view event alone bringing in nearly $400 million in one night. This immense financial success not only showcased the massive appeal of their rivalry, but also highlighted the business side of boxing.
How much money did that generate?
At the time, yeah, it was the record-setting pay-per-view. I think we generated something like close to, all in, like close to 400 million. Yeah, in one night. So
Oscar De La Hoya emphasized that for him, boxing was always about pride and legacy, not money. He believed in fighting for something bigger than just financial gain, seeking to prove himself and solidify his place in history. In contrast, he criticized Floyd Mayweather for being driven solely by money. Oscar acknowledged Floyd's business acumen, but felt that Floyd's focus was more on making a profit than enhancing his boxing legacy. To De La Hoya, the sport was about passion and honor, while Floyd's approach seemed centered around maximizing earnings and promoting his brand above all else.
You didn't promote that fight with Mayweather. Would you have pulled out?
probably, yeah, probably, because there was too much. Put the money aside. For me, it's about pride. For me, it was about, man, I want to have a winning chance.
Floyd Mayweather's constant bragging about his wealth has been a point of contention, especially regarding his comments about other fighters like Anthony Joshua. Analysts argue that while Floyd has made his fortune through boxing, his continuous focus on money detracts from his true legacy. In a recent statement, Mayweather compared his fight with Manny Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua's, claiming that he didn't need massive crowds or millions of viewers to generate record-breaking revenue. He stated, "We didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million gate," referencing the large-scale audiences at Joshua's fights. Floyd's claim to be on another planet in terms of success only emphasizes his obsession with being seen as the best, not just in the ring, but in wealth accumulation as well.
Because he talks about his money a lot, so he compared his fight with Pacquiao to Anthony Joshua, and he was saying basically they didn't need 100,000 or 90,000 people to do X amount of dollars. Here I'm gonna let you listen to it. Here's what he had to say verbatim. Here's what Floyd said about Anthony Joshua.
Talk about that. I was in the Guinness Book of World Record for breaking all the records. You didn't tell him that?
Of course you have.
generating billions in the sport of boxing, that or having the fastest sellout crowd. But I mean, and, you know, those guys done, you know. And I was watching a fight when I was at my Miami house. I was at my Miami home. I was watching a fight with Klitschko and the guy.
Analysts view this as a sign of Floyd's jealousy, suggesting he can't resist drawing comparisons between himself and others, especially when it comes to financial success. Despite his accolades, Mayweather's comments come across as defensive, trying to reaffirm his status as boxing's top earner. His fixation on wealth and superiority has overshadowed the deeper, more meaningful aspects of his career, like his actual contributions to the sport. This behavior raises questions about Floyd's true motivations, with some analysts believing it stems from insecurity and jealousy of fighters like Joshua, whose appeal transcends financial figures.
And they said that this is electrifying, sort of like the Pacquiao and Mayweather. And I said, well, we didn't have to have all those hundreds of thousands to do a $74 million game. So, and like I said before, but those guys put on a hell of a show. Like I said before, you know, I'm just on another planet. And you definitely know it. Because you've been around for years. And you see the same thing over and over and over again.
All right, so there you have it. Mayweather basically saying that, you know, he's on another planet and all this stuff, and that, you know, they didn't need 90,000 people and all this stuff. But, I mean, let's look at it like this. Jealousy, I noticed from Floyd, and it shouldn't be that way, because Floyd, you know, regardless of what I had to say about his career, I have my opinions on it. You know, he was a A-level fighter. Skills out, you know, had skills, was a really skilled fighter, A-level fighter.
Oscar de la Hoya and Floyd Mayweather's rivalry runs deep, going back to their high-profile 2007 fight. That bout was a turning point for Mayweather. It marked his first mega payday, earning him $4 million and putting him on the map as a pay-per-view star.
We welcome into SportsCenter the former #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world, Floyd Mayweather. Floyd, welcome back. We've missed you, Floyd.
Hey, how you doing? I'm not no former #1 pound-for-pound fighter. I'm just saying I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. No one has dethroned me, so how am I not pound-for-pound the best fighter in the world? You tell me.
Because you retired?
But have I ever been beat?
But what happens is you informed Ring Magazine you were
once again,
retiring as welterweight champion.
I already forgot who I'm talking to. I'm talking to Brian.
Floyd's ego never allowed him to give de la Hoya credit for that. Despite Oscar being the cash cow at the time, Floyd insists he was always the A-side. In past interviews, Mayweather has aggressively defended his legacy, saying, "I'm the best fighter in the sport of boxing. How am I not pound for pound the best?" He dismisses critics and former champions, even saying de la Hoya ain't do nothing in their fight, which Floyd won by split decision.
Top what I've done in 2 fights.
Well, one was with Oscar de la Hoya, who was the cash king.
I'm the cash cow, please.
Not compared to Oscar de la Hoya. Have you drawn as much as Oscar de la Hoya in pay-per-view, Floyd?
De la Hoya been on pay-per-view 1,000 times. It took me two times, 3.5 million homes. Me, Floyd Mayweather.
No, with Oscar de la Hoya, though.
Oscar de la Hoya didn't do nothing. Did he win?
It was a split decision loss, as a matter of fact.
Come on, man.
But it was with him.
Once again, like I said before, once again, we're talking to Brian Kinney, a man of many traits, a master of nothing.
Floyd, you waited over a year to come back. Why not wait one more weekend until Pacquiao and Hatton was over and we knew the winner?
I don't have to wait.
Oscar de la Hoya revealed that after his fight with Floyd Mayweather Jr., Floyd Mayweather Sr. came up to him and admitted that Oscar had actually won the fight and beaten his son. Despite this, the official decision gave the win to Floyd Jr. Oscar also pointed out that their contract had a rematch clause which stated that if Floyd won, they would run it back within a year. However, to avoid the rematch, Floyd Jr. conveniently announced his retirement the very next day and stayed retired for a full year, just long enough to bypass the clause. De la Hoya felt this was done deliberately so Floyd could escape a second fight. He believes the outcome of their bout was unfair, and that Floyd Sr.'s words confirmed he had done enough to win. The retirement move, to him, was just another strategic way of dodging the rematch.
As a fighter, you know, deep down inside, you know if you win or you lose. Did you know? I felt that I won. I felt that it can go either way, especially when Mayweather's father came straight at me And he goes, Oscar, you beat my son.
Wait, he told you right after the fight?
Oh, yeah. And a funny story about that, too. We had a rematch clause in our contract. This is something I negotiated as well. If he beats me, I get a rematch. It was a 1 year clause. Guess what he did? He retired for 1 year and 1 day.
Are you joking?
No. True story. Nobody knows this, but it's in the contract.
What? So how often did you guys try to get another thing going? It was always, no, not interested. No, not interested.
Yeah, not interested. I'm retiring. I'm out of the sport. But sure enough, a day after that contract was over, he announces his unretirement.
Floyd Mayweather can't accept the idea of anyone being above him, whether it's about boxing skills or making money. His entire brand is built around being the best ever, and whenever someone even hints that another fighter might be better, Floyd becomes visibly irritated. He doesn't just brush it off, he gets defensive and often lashes out, trying to discredit anyone who's compared to him. Whether it's Canelo's current dominance, Pacquiao's legacy, or even young rising stars, Floyd makes sure to remind the world that he's undefeated and unmatched. He wants the spotlight, always. Even in retirement, he constantly finds ways to bring the attention back to himself. The idea that someone could outshine him in any aspect of boxing, whether skill-wise or financially, seems to genuinely bother him. It's like he needs to be recognized as the absolute top no matter what, and he refuses to let that go.
Did I not beat the most world champions?
Yes, you did.
Okay. In the least amount of fights?
Yes, you did.
Who got the highest gate?
Floyd Mayweather.
Who made the most money?
You did.
Who was the most accurate fighter of all time?
You were.
So it's basically saying that...
The greatest of all time.
Okay.
Floyd Mayweather has often claimed to be on a level higher than even Muhammad Ali, but Oscar de la Hoya sees it differently. De la Hoya has called Floyd the most overrated fighter in boxing history, arguing that Mayweather's resume doesn't compare to the legends who truly shaped the sport. Floyd's opponents, while talented, never carried the same historical weight as those faced by icons like Ali. De la Hoya points out that Mayweather's career, filled with strategic matchups and an undefeated record, lacks the raw, all-encompassing greatness that defined boxing legends. The controversy surrounding Floyd's self-proclaimed status as one of the sport's greatest has sparked intense debates, with many believing his career was more about avoiding risks than fighting the best in their prime. While Floyd may boast about his success, De La Hoya suggests that true greatness isn't just about numbers, it's about facing challenges that truly define a champion.
Who's an overrated boxer? Well, you don't want to get in trouble here.
I don't mind.
All right.
Overrated boxer, fighter, most overrated, Floyd Mayweather Jr.
Really?
Yes.
He's not a great boxer.
No, he is a great, but his resume is not one like Sugar Ray Leonard or one like Muhammad.
Oscar de la Hoya has been vocal in criticizing Floyd Mayweather, especially regarding Floyd's focus on money over legacy. Floyd has made it clear that his priority is financial success, often boasting about his wealth, and using his money persona to attract attention. De La Hoya has called out Floyd for profiting from non-traditional fights, particularly by taking advantage of social media influencers and YouTubers to cash in on their massive followings. Floyd's exhibition match against Logan Paul, for example, was a spectacle aimed at drawing in viewers based on celebrity status rather than competitive boxing skill. While Mayweather made millions from the fight, De La Hoya sees it as a step away from true boxing, pointing out that Floyd's emphasis on money has turned the sport into a sideshow. He believes Floyd has capitalized on YouTubers' fame and the ever-growing pay-per-view model, but at the expense of boxing's integrity. De La Hoya also criticized Floyd's remarks about fighters like Ryan Garcia, whom Floyd dismisses as just a YouTuber. Oscar argues that Floyd has built his empire by exploiting the same audience he now mocks, showing a double standard in how he views the modern-day fight scene.
Talking about skid Ryan Garcia. Tank got his followers from kicking ass. Ryan Garcia got his followers from YouTubers. There's a difference. So you want to be a YouTuber or you want to be a fighter? Tank is a fighter.
What the fuck? So Ryan Garcia's not a fighter? He's been fighting since he was 7 years old. He has 200 plus amateur fights. I don't care where his followers come from, if they come from fucking Mars. The fact is that Ryan's followers are selling this fight. And plus, don't you remember you fought YouTubers? Are you putting YouTubers down? You profited from them. I can't with you, dude. You're fucking dumbass. I can't wait. April 22nd, Ryan Garcia fucking knocking out Tank Davis.
Oscar de la Hoya has been outspoken in his criticism of Floyd Mayweather, particularly regarding his exhibition matches. De la Hoya believes that Floyd's focus on making money through these exhibitions shows a lack of concern for his boxing legacy. Floyd has made it clear that his primary motivation is financial success, constantly flaunting his wealth and branding himself as Money Mayweather. However, Oscar argues that boxing should be about more than just cashing in. It should be about fighting for the sport's honor and leaving a lasting legacy. De la Hoya has pointed out that Mayweather's numerous exhibition fights, such as the one with Logan Paul, are a far cry from true boxing matches that challenge a fighter's skill and determination. These fights, often more about spectacle than competition, have earned Floyd millions. But they don't contribute to his standing as one of the all-time greats. De la Hoya believes Floyd is more interested in the payday than in adding meaningful wins to his record. For Oscar, the true measure of greatness in boxing comes from challenging the best and making real sacrifices in the ring, something he feels Floyd has abandoned in favor of easy money and fame through non-competitive exhibitions.
Okay, Floyd Mayweather fought another exhibition against Gotti last Saturday. A real show that left the crowd booing in the arena at the end. But in the middle of the second round, Floyd literally had the referee swapped out. He didn't like that the referee told him to stop hitting behind the head. Floyd is used to having the refs do whatever he wants, and he wasn't getting his way this time. It was so embarrassing. Floyd, you're 50 years old. You're a legend in the sport. I've stood up for you in countless interviews, including Shannon Sharp's podcast last week. But you have to stop embarrassing yourself with these exhibitions. I know life is hard. I know life is expensive. But come on, dude, put your legacy first. Nobody wants to remember you like this. And it gets worse. Your jeweler filed a lawsuit against you in Miami. And many are saying you're gonna have to sell off your assets. Floyd, I'm rooting for you. Come on, let's turn it around.
Jeff, Mayweather revealed that Floyd Mayweather's animosity toward Oscar de la Hoya went far beyond simple rivalry. It was rooted in Floyd's inability to accept anyone being above him in boxing, especially when it came to money. At the time, Oscar was the undisputed cash cow of the sport, generating massive paydays and fan interest. Floyd, however, couldn't stomach the idea of someone else taking the spotlight, particularly when it came to financial power in the boxing world. Floyd would regularly talk down to Oscar, belittling him at press conferences and often insulting him right to his face. Oscar, trying to maintain his image, chose not to respond, which only allowed Floyd to continue his verbal attacks. Floyd Mayweather's approach to both boxing and promotion has long been a subject of criticism, particularly for his need to remain in the spotlight. Analysts argue that while Mayweather has achieved unprecedented financial success, his focus on self-promotion has hindered his ability to become a truly successful promoter. His constant desire to be the center of attention, whether in or out of the ring, prevents him from stepping aside and allowing other fighters to flourish. This egotistical mindset, they say, is evident in how he promotes fighters like Gervonta Tank Davis and Adrian Broner, instead of using his platform to elevate them. Floyd's own need for recognition overshadows their potential rise.
Whether he can't be a successful promoter if he's always wanting to be in the spotlight. His desire to be always noticed, always the one that is at the center of attention. You know what I mean? It's like, you look at Adrian Broner, he's supposed to have beef with Tank Davis now, throwing him in there with Lomachenko, which I think he's ready for Lomachenko now.
Additionally, analysts point out that Mayweather's actions, such as his exhibition match with Logan Paul, are more about capitalizing on money-making opportunities than furthering the sport. These non-competitive bouts may bring in millions, but they do little for Floyd's boxing legacy or the legitimacy of his promotional efforts. His behavior, they argue, demonstrates that Floyd is more focused on personal gain and the spotlight than on fostering the next generation of champions. This pattern, analysts claim, makes Mayweather a flawed figure in the promotion world, prioritizing his own image over the sport's long-term health and the success of the fighters he's supposed to support.